Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here is your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
Innovative Thinkers, episode number 179, Innovative Thinkers. Thank you for joining us as we elevate the Black entrepreneur experience by interviewing CEOs, thought leaders, innovative thinkers, and Black entrepreneurs across the globe. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards, founder and author, filmfounder.co, contributor to Inc.com and Forbes.com, building the next generation of female founders, helping them to grow their business with PR and branding. Welcome, Kristin Marquet.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here with you this morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. You have such an amazing bio. Why don't you fill in the gaps and share with our audience what you'd like them to know about you and your business?
Sure. So I have been an entrepreneur for, over 10 years now. I actually started my first business out of necessity because I had lost my corporate consulting job during the financial crisis in 2009, and my entire office shut down. So at that point, I was kind of left to my own devices. Do I look for a job? Do I start a business? And I started my first business, which was a PR agency. And I grew that. And in 2018, I offloaded that. And at the same time, I was working on Femme Founder as kind of more of a passion project. And I wanted it to be a marketing and branding resource for female entrepreneurs. And it actually, over the last 3.5 years, has become a business and more of a media company. And it's pretty much supplying, my full-time income now. And it's growing every day. And we actually, up until April, only had featured female entrepreneurs, but we've gotten so many requests from male founders. And now we are exploring that realm. And the brand just keeps on growing. And my PR Academy course actually came out of requests from our readers because they want to learn how to get publicity themselves without hiring a firm. Because let's admit it, firms are, if you want even to hire a scrappy PR firm, you're going to pay $3,500 a month and on the minimum, and most startups just can't afford that. Yeah, that's how Femme Founder came to fruition. And it's really starting to become a major brand today. And we are very excited to see where it goes. And we have about 10 different contributors. And it's just, it's kind of taken on a persona and a life of its own.
Talk about the pivoting in this environment. We're in the midst of COVID-19. And what would you say to someone that's thinking about starting a business or they need to start a business because of a pivot, losing their job due to COVID-19?
And that's actually the unfortunate circumstance for so many people. And I was in that position during the financial crisis, so I can attest to how difficult it is. But my suggestion would be to start with something that doesn't cost a lot of money. Going the product-based route is a mistake. Look at how you can kind of productize your skill set and create service packages to service one or two industries. You can start a website for less than $100 on Wix or Weebly or Squarespace and test it out. Make sure that there's a need for whatever you want to sell, and you can launch. You don't need a huge audience and you don't need any money. You can look at launching on Pinterest, which we can talk about a little bit more, or you can go a digital publicity route and try to do guest posts and podcasts and try to get digital interviews, things of that nature. That will take a little bit longer than going the Pinterest route, but all you need are one or two clients to build up your pipeline while you focus on marketing whatever it is you want to offer.
Let's jump right into the Pinterest route. Give us some strategies on that. I've not heard of that strategy.
So actually, interestingly enough, I spent the first couple of years building our email list and getting traffic from Pinterest. for a femme founder. And it's such a great resource because you don't need a huge audience. You just need to have pretty pins and with compelling headlines and a good call to action to get the person from Pinterest to click through to your website or your blog post, and so that you can get them on your email list. But it really starts with having a profile that's optimized with the right keywords for the audience that you want to attract. So for instance, for me, I would have maybe PR, female entrepreneurs, small business, digital marketing, branding, all those keywords within my bio. And then I would have a link to either the homepage on my website or to a free offering. So it would be the free course. In that, for that example, the other thing is, you want to have at least 10 boards and have at least 10 pins on each board. It does take a little while to curate the content and to create your own, but I'm a big advocate pinning 50% of your own content and then 50% of other experts' content that will actually serve and help educate or entertain your target audience. That's just Pinterest at a high level. But you want to make sure that all of your graphics and all the copy that you use are on brand for whatever your brand stands for. And again, you can have like 50 followers and reach, 50,000 people on like Instagram because you're able to have access to provide links to every single one of your blog posts or every single page on your website or every podcast interview you do. Whereas Instagram, you're only allowed that one link in your bio. And you need to have a massive following, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of followers to reach the same amount of people that you would on Pinterest with a tiny little following.
Kristin, what was that aha moment that you knew that your business was going to be successful?
That's actually a great question. I would say when I realized that there was a huge need for PR services that were affordable and actually generated results. And once I saw that demand and I was able to, fill up my pipeline with clients that actually valued what I wanted to provide and what I could provide, it was like my eureka moment or my aha moment.
What problem exists in the world today that you would like to solve?
Well, first of all, no business is the same and all results are different. But I would say if I could solve one portion of a startup's marketing issue, it could be like one tiny little step that would actually make me happy because I know that I'm providing value at a very good cost or a very affordable rate to help move a business from point A to point B. But it would have to be within the marketing spectrum. So it could be digital marketing, social media, branding, or PR.
Kristin, tell us what you're most grateful for right now in your life.
My husband, he's amazing. He is great, very supportive, never questions what I want to do business-wise. And he just supports me no matter what ideas I have and tries to help me clarify whatever vision I have so I can make it come to life.
What is some advice you wish you had followed?
I wish that I would have listened to my parents and have gone through college straight and not have taken a 3-year break. Graduating from college at 25 set me back. In contrast to my peers, I just really wish that I would have listened to them and not have decided to travel and explore the modeling world and do all that. I think that being more consistent and being, I guess you could say, less scattered would have served me better when I was younger. But, you can't go back. So, c'est la vie, right?
Absolutely. Talk about your top 2 influencers and what lessons did they teach you?
On the business side, I would say one would be my father, who was an entrepreneur. I learned a lot about how to run a business from him, just at the high level. what to expect, how to deal with customers, marketing, and all that good stuff. Secondarily, I would say one of my professors in grad school at NYU taught me how to streamline and optimize my agency operations and helped me look at my business from more of a corporate perspective instead of like a startup and small business. And that actually helped me scale and generate much more revenue. But that, that didn't happen overnight. That was over the course of a semester or two.
What is a daily or a weekly habit that you do consistently that is giving you the greatest success?
Running. I'm a runner, and getting that physical exercise helps me, first of all, relieve stress while also helping me feel more focused. And it helps me alleviate all that extra energy that I have. And, I try to do it every day, at least 5 days a week. And distance, not like 2 miles. We're talking like 5, 6.
And what does self-care look like to you, Kristin?
That's a great question. And you know what? Nobody's ever asked me that before. I would say spending time with my family, doing things that I really enjoy, being able to travel when all this craziness, all these bans lift, and just really focusing on the things that make me happy. And like I said, it's most importantly spending time with my family.
What is something that you dream about often that you have not done?
I would say seeing the pyramids in Egypt. That is a lifelong dream. I have not done that. Traveled quite extensively, but have not been to Egypt yet.
We'd love to know what you think. Feel free to drop us an email at fr@francisrichards.com. That's fr@francisrichards.com. Give us 3 truths that you have learned in life or business.
First one is, who cares what other people think? Can't make everybody happy. The second one is just be true to yourself and understand who you are, accept who you are. And the third one is, if you don't have confidence in yourself, nobody else is going to. At the end of the day, your life is about you, and just make yourself happy. Don't be selfish. But, obviously you have to take other people into consideration. But at the end of the day, you can't be a doormat, and you have to do what makes you happy in life. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable.
Kristin, you talked about you had gone to college later. Did you major in branding and marketing?
No, actually, comparative literature. Believe it or not. But my freshman year, I went to college directly after high school, but I had taken a 3-year break to pursue modeling and traveling and all this. But when I was going into college, biology, I was thinking about becoming a doctor. So I was a biology major. But then when I returned to college at the age of 24, I pursued my education in comparative literature just because it was going to be much easier for me to finish up. And it was the right decision because that taught me how to think and write critically and just how to solve problems and try to be as clear as I possibly can in my writing. And that is absolutely critical to what I do now, since I am in branding and marketing.
Tell us a brand or a business that is dominating that you admire and why.
I would say the athletic brand for women, Athleta. The advertising is great in terms of being diverse. The clothes are made well, they last, and they're very affordable. And I think that in terms of the branding, being a little bit more all-encompassing is better over Lululemon and a lot of other activewear brands for women. I think that we're going to see much more market penetration from Athleta, and I think that we're going to see a lot more press and the brand just continue to grow.
Talk about your most memorable moment in life or business.
I would say probably my wedding day is the most memorable because I married the most amazing person I've ever met. Very fortunate. And, we've been married for almost 8 years now, been together for 12 and starting a family. And, I wouldn't want to be with or go through life with anybody else other than him.
That's great. That's an awesome shout out. And you said you're starting a family?
Yes. We've had some fertility issues. We've gone through a number of rounds of IVF, but this most recent round looks like it was successful. And within the next year, hopefully we'll have a family.
Congratulations in advance. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for sharing that.
Thank you. Sure. I understand that's a huge issue for a lot of families.
Yes, thank you for being so authentic and sharing that.
You're welcome.
Tell us one of the most vital, life-changing pieces of advice that you could possibly share with us.
I think just generally, don't settle. Explore what the world has to offer and don't settle for anything less than what you want. And don't be afraid to take risks. That's the most important thing. Take calculated risks. Growth doesn't come from being comfortable. You have to push yourself so that you can grow and change.
What drives you every day to continue doing what you're doing?
Helping my clients or readers get the information they need so that they can move from point A to point B. It really is helping people, entrepreneurs, grow their businesses without spending a ton of money.
And what is your vision for the next couple of years?
To continue to grow the Femme Founder brand. We actually just hit in April, I want to say maybe April or May, 1 million page views. And I'd like to see that continue to expand. Also, maybe start working very high level with some female entrepreneurs that are looking to scale beyond the 6 figures. And also spending time with my family, working from home, making sure that I raise my kids, not have a full-time nanny watch them. I grew up like that. And, it works for some people, but I want to be involved in my kids' lives and, while still being able to provide for them and, not having my husband have to work 1 million hours a week so that he could provide for all of us. That's ultimately my long-term goal.
Does your husband work in the business?
No, he's actually a partner in a law firm, and he's been working from home since, March. So it's nice to have him home. But, once in a while, I'll ask him to review a piece of content or edit one of my products, my upcoming book. But other than that, he's partner in a law firm, and he's been with the same firm since before I knew him, which is quite incredible. And, like I said, it's nice to have him home.
Kristin, what is the one thing we can do right now to support your business?
Take a look at Femme Founder, join our email list, and I'm going to be offering free downloads of my 3rd book when I release it in early August. Grab a copy while it pretty much is everything from PR and branding A to Z for any stage business, not just for startups. It's definitely a guidebook for entrepreneurs. They should keep it handy and just use it as a workbook to build out the infrastructure of their businesses. And like I said, when we release it in August 10th, you'll be able to grab a digital download for free on femmefounder.co/the-book. And I can actually email that to you so that you can have it, but take advantage of it while you can for free.
Thank you for offering that to our audience. That is awesome.
You're welcome. Any resources I can provide, I'm happy to do so.
And talk about the naming of your company, Femme Founder. How did you come up with that?
Well, I realized that most of the requests I was getting from clients and from friends were female entrepreneurs. And like I had mentioned earlier, Femme Founder started off as a passion project. And it was really, the name stated exactly who the reader was and help take them from point A to point B. There wasn't any crazy, miraculous, eureka moment I had. It was just really based on identifying who our ideal reader is and was, and exactly provide them with everything that they need to run their business successfully.
What's a technology tool or a technology platform that is a must-have for you in managing your business?
Well, I have two. I use Hootsuite for Facebook and Twitter. It just streamlines the posting process. And for Pinterest and Instagram, I use Tailwind, which is an auto scheduler. Tailwind for Pinterest is great. You can schedule up to a couple hundred pins for every week and only spend 20 minutes instead of doing it manually every day. Both of those tools automate that awful, tedious side of running a business. And it saves, 10, 15 hours a month on doing actual execution work. And they're both great tools.
What is your biggest achievement so far in business?
Building companies that allow me to work from anywhere and having the financial flexibility to work with clients or companies that I truly believe in. In the beginning, I had to take any business that would come my way that needed help, but spending the last 10 or 11 years building out the infrastructure of my businesses has allowed me to work with companies or entrepreneurs that I know that I can help and provide value to, or are actually going to respect the work that I do for them. A lot of agencies and a lot of consultants, they have to take any client that comes their way so that they can keep their pipeline full. And I just find that to be a bad practice. It's actually quite annoying. I'm very thankful for, having the flexibility to work from home, work with the clients that I want, and, launch these passion projects like Femme Founder and turn them into actual viable, profitable businesses.
So prior to COVID-19, you have always built your business to be remote?
Yes. I mean, I did have an office in Midtown, New York City, just to meet clients. And, I would go in like once or twice a week to meet with the team. But now everything is completely remote, and I am not going to open another office. Everybody's going to work remotely. It's just much more effective, and it's much more cost effective for me.
What keeps you up at night, Kristin?
Worrying about my parents, getting older, getting sick, not being able to be there for them physically. That really does worry me. But at the same time, it's accepting that we're all getting older. Nothing lasts forever. And we just have to try and make the most of the time that we have with our family.
Absolutely. Family is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And time.
Yes. We all have limited time. So it's making the most out of what we do have.
Absolutely. What is your biggest achievement so far in business?
Yeah, I think it goes back to building a business that I can work from anywhere in the world and kind of work on my own time and do work that actually matters and work that I actually like doing. I couldn't imagine being stuck in a 9 to 5 or being stuck in an office every day, commuting into the city and just really being at the helm or the mercy of whatever business comes my way. I keep things tight, I keep things small, and I keep things nimble so that I don't have to just take whatever comes my way in terms of clients, or even for Femme Founder, taking ads or sponsorships from companies that don't really align with our goals, if that makes sense.
It does. Now, would you say that strategy is something that you learned in business school, or is that something that the strategy that you learned after business school and in business?
Definitely on the job. As you know, school provides a great foundation, but it doesn't really give you the real world experience unless, you're doing internships or you're working one-to-one with a group, working in a small group or working with a professor. Most of the work that you do is theoretical. So I would say, 90% of what I know about running a successful business, I learned in the trenches. Some, like I had mentioned earlier on, running an agency and looking at it from a corporate perspective, I was able to learn in school because I don't have any large agency experience. The only agency experience I have is running my own small boutique firm. So.
We'd love to know what you think. Feel free to drop us an email at fr@francisrichards.com. That's fr@francisrichards.com. Let's switch gears for a moment. Let's talk about risk. What is the worst moment in business and what was your takeaway?
When I had a big client not pay a 6-month-old bill. I was banking on that income revenue to pay team members, pay overhead, whatever. That was awful, not getting that payment. But the important thing that I learned is even if you have a contract, it's very difficult to enforce getting paid. So any contract or any consulting work that I do, it's payment has to be made prior to the start of the campaign. And if they don't agree, then, they can work with somebody else. But getting paid up front is critical, having financial viability and sustainability.
Is there a social cause connected to your company?
A social cause, not really, in terms of helping or, volunteering my time. I do help a lot of female entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs. I mentor them. So there's that component. I actually think that mentoring will provide much more value instead of donating money. And I really like mentoring younger female entrepreneurs, aspiring ones, people that have full-time jobs that want to transition to entrepreneurship or having a full-time business. And it's just much more effective.
Kristin, you talked about getting older. When it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered, your legacy?
I want my kids to be good people. I want them to not have to struggle the way that I did. And I just want them to be nice. Having, a $1 billion corporation, being remembered for that, that's all well and good. But at the end of the day, you are a reflection of your family to a certain extent. So I would want to just make sure that they're good people, they're educated, and that they can take care of themselves.
Give us 1 to 3 words that would describe Kristin.
Aggressive, impatient, but also very compassionate.
What book would you recommend and why?
My favorite book that I've read within the last couple of years is She Means Business by Carrie Green. She is actually the founder of the Female Entrepreneur Association, and she's based in the UK. I think that she has done such an amazing job building her brand and sharing her experiences without the fluff. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. I really admire her for being so open and sharing her story with her readers.
What, if anything, would cause you to stop?
Obviously, some physical ailment. If I can't move around. Another thing would be if one of my parents got really sick and they needed full-time care. I would give up my career. The same thing for my husband. Yeah, things that would require my attention and that have a time frame on them for sure.
If someone spent a day with you, what would we learn about you that we don't know?
I think you would learn that even though, I am impatient and can be aggressive, at the same time, there is a soft spot. I do have a soft spot, and I think I'm pretty easy to talk to.
And what is working well right now for you in your business?
The digital marketing strategies that we've been implementing have been great help in terms of building email lists, traffic, selling products. And it's Instagram, Pinterest, and digital publicity.
How do you feel about who you have become, Kristin?
I'm happy with it overall, but there's definitely room for improvement. And, I try to focus and work on that. But I mean, overall, I think I'm a pretty good person, and skilled and competent.
And what is your best discovery?
My best discovery is that best revelation, I would say, is don't waste time. You only have a limited number of days on this planet, so try to make every day matter. I know that it sounds like cliche, but it really is true. And don't let others hold you back. Those are kind of my mantras and things that I've discovered that are very useful, and I just remind myself of every single day.
What is the hope for your generation?
Millennials, I hope that we all just look at life a little bit more critically and really focus on family and the things that matter. Money is good. Obviously, you need it to live, but it's not going to make you happy. I know that sounds kind of cliche as well, but it's true. Focus on family, focus on what makes you happy, and be smart about it. Money doesn't mean everything.
How do you keep your happiness?
I mean, there are days where it wanes. Am I happy at every minute? No. But I do find happiness at one point of every day. And for me, it's about being true to who I am and just being grateful for everything that I have and understanding that my husband is the best. And, I look at some of my friends and, I look at my family and I look at their relationships, and some of them don't have healthy ones. And I have been in plenty of toxic relationships in the past that I learned what I don't want. And my husband is everything that I do want, and he is the perfect match for me. Had to date a lot and had to kiss a lot of frogs before I met him, but I'm very fortunate to have him.
That is awesome.
It's difficult to find the right partner, but when you do, makes life a lot more enjoyable for me.
So give us your best dating tip to find Mr. or Mrs. Right.
Be selective, don't settle, and don't be afraid to test the waters and, date multiple people at the same time. Life is too short. Enjoy it, enjoy the process, and learn what you don't want. It's important to learn what you do want, but more importantly, it's important to learn what you don't want.
Absolutely. And learn what you don't want and don't settle and stick to what you don't want.
Exactly.
If you conducted this interview, what is the one question you would have asked yourself? I'd like you to ask the question and answer it.
Okay, great question. But I would say, what would your best tip for aspiring entrepreneurs to take to launch a successful business? We had talked about pivoting, we had talked about career changers, but we're talking about first-time entrepreneurs. Be lean, be smart, be strategic, don't waste money, and only ask for external investments if you really need it. Bootstrap your way to success.
Excellent question. We've come to the part of our interview. It's called Fun Facts Lightning Round. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and I'd like you to give very quick answers. If there's something you desire not to answer, feel free to say pass. Are you ready for the Fun Facts Lightning Round?
Yep.
The last movie you saw?
The last movie I saw, The Pledge, actually, with Jack Nicholson. Very, very good. Would recommend it.
You relax doing what?
Running.
Your favorite singer?
I have a lot of favorite singers. I can't give you just one. I have a lot.
Your favorite dance song?
I would say probably anything by Ocean Lab. EDM, very big into electronic dance music. So probably not very mainstream, but anything that group records is great to dance to.
Yeah, they do a lot of electric dance music here in Las Vegas.
Yes. Yep. And you guys have become the capital. So, it was New York, then Miami, now Las Vegas. You guys have some of the best clubs.
What food do you eat every week, no matter what?
Turkey tacos.
We had last night. And your favorite month?
December.
Hit the gym or hit the couch?
Definitely the gym. But I'm more of an outdoors person. I'm definitely more of an exercise person, not a couch person.
Kristin, tell our audience, what is the best way for our audience to connect with you and to support your business? You don't have to rush through that. Take your time and feel free to give your social media handles.
Sure. So femfounder.co, FEM, founder.co is a great way to get acquainted with the brand. And if you wanted to reach out via email, you can use femfounder@gmail.com. If you need high-level consulting, or even if you needed a brand update, you can reach me through marquet-media.com. And our social media handles are instagram.com/femfounder and instagram.com Kristin Marquet, and Twitter is @Kristin Marquet as well.
Thank you so much for spending time with us on Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast, Kristin. And that's a wrap.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.